Georgia.
A man calls 911 and says his friend was hit by a car. Police and EMS arrive and find him outside of an apartment complex with head wounds. They rush him to the hospital where he expired. His injuries were a fractured skull and blown out orbital, also blunt force trauma to the head.
This happened Friday evening, 8 to 10ish. The victim, he goes to the hospital, he's transported to the hospital. In the meantime, I get the call today that he has since passed away. Force trauma to the head, fractured skull, blown out orbital.
No injuries on this person below the neck.
The victim is identified as Marcos Lopez. Came to the U.S. at the age of 17, worked in construction to help support his family in Mexico. He had just returned to the U.S. 2 weeks ago. So friends comes to the station and tell detectives they were at work, and during lunch break, they were looking at the Meet Me app. He saw a girl named Glenda Williams who was giving out her number, saying money for action. So he calls her for Marcos because Marcos doesn't speak English. She told him to come to his place, which was a vacant apartment that she used to live in. Then she made a comment, "Did you just get paid?" So detectives was curious about that comment and asked why would she say that. He said maybe because it was Friday and she figured everyone gets paid on Friday. So they asked how much did Marcos possess. He said between $1 and $2 grand. So they go to the apartment complex. She was waiting in a red SUV. She said follow her. Marcos went with her, and after a while, a black guy comes walking out of the apartment and got in a red SUV and left. That was around 8:50 p.m. Then a guy called and said come get Marcos. They beat him up, and he's going to expire.
I think he's gone by like in 30 minutes if they, come and get him. And I heard Marcos like screaming like painful screams.
What did this Glenda girl look like? You showed us her on the meetup out, right?
Then he told detectives that Glenda has a Facebook page. It's Glenda and Russell Williams. So detectives leave the room. Corporal Laney checks the Facebook page and see they're actively selling a TV on Facebook. Kate, a photo of Russell Williams, 22 years old, grew up in Georgia, has no previous convictions. But they see that he owns a red 2007 Mercury. His listed address is the apartment where the victim entered. Now a few detectives head back over to the apartment so they can verify the address. When they arrive, officers are on the scene working an assault that just happened. The victim stated he was beat and robbed in one of the apartments. He was meeting up with a short white woman. So now detectives check the leasing records. So now they look up Glenda. She's identified as Glenda Carter, 20 years old, no previous convictions, attended high school in Georgia. That evening, they head back over to the apartment and examine the scene. They find red all in the master bedroom, all over the carpet, the walls. So now they know where it happened.
You can see where he's got some handprints. He's probably laying here, he's trying to get up. He's aspirating blood out.
They go to Glenda and Russell Facebook page and reach out to them about the TV for sale using a fake Facebook account. Glenda says it's still available, but she doesn't have a card to it. So they set up a meeting for tomorrow. Eat with Glenda and buy the TV. The next day, detectives head to the hospital to interview the second robbery victim. Both of his forearms are in a cast. The guy at the hospital said when he walked in the door, he was attacked from the back. When he turned around to confront that guy, another guy hit him in the back of the head with a bat. He fought back and dropped one of them, what he described as a smaller guy, and pushed the other one back. Then they regained and worked him with the bat again, hit him about 3 or 4 times. That's how he had the injury to his hand. He said at that point, they asked for his wallet, which he told them he left in the car. So detectives asked, how did he get out of there? He said the bigger guy had blood all over his shirt and face, so he went in the bathroom to wash up. He pushed the smaller guy and ran down the steps to his car and took off. Now they obtained warrants for Glenda Carter, 2 counts of armed robbery and 2 counts of ag assault for both victims. Then detectives messaged Glenda again about the TV. She tells them she'll meet by a Waffle House. They meet up and arrest Glenda and Russell because he was in the vehicle also. They need to question him. They notice a bat in the vehicle also with red on it. and there was a dog in the vehicle, so they asked Glenda if there's someone they can give the dog to. Glenda said yes, right there at the Red Roof Inn, room 206, and Russell's brother is in the room. So they hit the room.
Left the door open. Yeah, just move up, try to push it open. I'm gonna go low. All right, I'll go push over and leave the door high.
He's asleep. They apprehend him and also take him to the station for question. They start with Glenda first. Glenda says they needed money, so she met 3 guys off the Meet Me app. It was $60 a piece, $180, so that's half the rent money she needed. Glenda said Russell and Zarius was in the back room just in case the guy tried to take advantage of her. So she goes to the bathroom to clean up. Russell and Zarius, for no reason, jumps out with a bat. Glenda said the guy was trying to fight back, but they kept striking him with the bat. He became unconscious and they drug him down by a tree. Glenda said because she has a possible baby on the way and another in foster care by Russell, so she wouldn't get involved in nothing like that. So detectives asked, what did you guys take from him? Glenda said a wallet and a cell phone, but she willing to give the money back. So Glenda tells detectives Russell felt bad for the guy, which is why they made the phone call to his friends, letting them know where to find Marcos. Then detectives ask about the second incident. Glenda gives the same story. So they tell Glenda they'll be back after speaking to Russell and Zarius. Then they head in there to talk to Russell.
Through that.
Well, I guess she just ended up talking to one of her friends and invited her friend over to the apartment complex. I was talking to the guy, asking if he had any money. We asked him, can we borrow some money? He ended up trying to touch on Glenda.
So who hit who first?
I was telling him, yo, don't touch my wife's wife. And then he ended up hitting me and I had to hit him back.
Zarius grabbed a bat to help him, because that's what brothers do. But Russell now says that it was Glenda's idea. He asked the guy, did he have any money? The guy manhandled him. That's when he got mad and hit him. So they let Russell know that the guy's deceased, exits the room and go talk to Zarius. He starts by saying it was a setup. He hid in one of the rooms. As soon as the guy turned his back, he jumped out, hit him a couple times with his fist. The guy fell. So detectives asked, what about the bat? Zarius said he hit him about 3 or 4 times with the bat. So they asked who idea was it. Zarius said Glenda's. Now they let Zarius know the guy passed, exits the room, and head back in there to speak with Glenda. Start by letting her know Russell and Zarius said it was your idea. Glenda starts by saying she didn't know what else to do, but she didn't help them do it. Her role was to bring them to the apartment. She didn't know they would be hurt. So detectives let Glenda know the first guy succumbed to his injuries, and the second guy underwent surgery for his hand and a broken arm. Glenda asked would they be going to jail. Detective said absolutely. So Glenda Carter was convicted of homicide, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. She received a life sentence. Russell Williams maintained his innocence and entered an alpha plea to homicide, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. He received a life sentence. Zarius Williams was convicted of homicide, aggravated assault, and armed robbery. He also received a life sentence. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, leave me some comments, hit that thanks button. Stay safe out there. I'm done talking.
So I talked to the Department of Family and Children's Services, and I was able to find out that they do not have a child actually, and they have lied about it before. And other times where Glenda's had run-in with the police, she uses that as kind of a tactic where she's told them that she can't go to jail because she has a child at home that she needs to take care of.